Hello friends, welcome to Code with Karthiki. Today we are going to see differences between list and tuple. To understand these differences, you should have knowledge of list and tuple. Here I have listed out 9 differences. We will see one by one these differences with demonstration. Here is first difference. To create list, square brackets are used, and to create tuples, round brackets are used. Now we will see this. I have added new cell here. Now I will create one list. I have used here square brackets. Printing this list L1, and we will check its data type also. Print. Using type function we can check its data type. And if I run this cell, I got here list in square brackets and data type is list. Next we will see for tuple. Now creating one tuple T1, and to create tuple we need round brackets. Print this tuple here, then print its type also, data type. And if I run this cell, I got here this tuple 1 2 3 and data type is tuple. So this is the first difference we have completed. Next is, in list square brackets are mandatory and in tuples round brackets are not mandatory. We will see this. Now I am creating here new list L2, and now this is containing 1 2 3 3 elements, and we will print this list on the console. And if I run this cell, I got this list here 1 2 3. We know that in list square brackets are used, and we will check its data type also. Already we know that its data type is list. And if I run this, now I got here list and this data type is class list. So what I am saying here, in list square brackets are mandatory. If I don't use these square brackets, what happens? We will check. Now I have removed this square brackets. I have removed. If I remove these square brackets and if I run this cell, I got here this as tuple and data type is tuple. Earlier it was showing class as list when we have used square brackets. If we don't use square brackets, its data type is tuple. So remember, when you create list, use square brackets. If you don't use square brackets, it will be considered as a tuple. Now we will see for tuple. Now I will create here one tuple T2, and this is my tuple 1 2 3. So these are the elements, and we will print this tuple on the console, and we will check its data type also. T2, type of T2. And if I run this cell, I got here this tuple. This is our tuple and class is tuple. So we have used round brackets. We know that whenever we are creating tuple, we have to use round brackets. But if I remove this round brackets, what happens? We will check. Now if I run this cell, I got the same output. That is, this is one tuple and class, that is data type is tuple. So remember, in list square brackets are mandatory. If you don't use, it will be considered as a tuple, and in tuples round brackets are not mandatory. If you don't use, still it will consider it as a tuple. Next difference is, lists are mutable and tuples are immutable. So what is mutability concept? So mutable objects are the objects which can change dynamically, and immutable objects are those you can't change dynamically. So lists are mutable. I'm creating here one list L3, and elements are 1 2 3. So this is our list. I'm printing this list on the console, and if I run this cell, I got this list. Now what I want to do, I want to change its element at 0th position. I want to make it as 100. So using indexing I can do that. So 0th position element I want to change to 100. So using assignment I have changed, and we will print this list on the console again. See here, as lists are mutable, I could change its first element to 100. Previously it was 1. So we will try same thing with tuple. Now I am creating here one tuple T3 and its elements are 1, 2, 3, and I will print this on the console. And first we will run this much code. Now we got here this tuple 1, 2, 3, and I want to change its 0th element. So I'm trying using indexing. So 0th element I want to change to 100, and I will print this tuple on the console. If I run this cell, I got here error. Tuple object doesn't support item assignment. Why I got this error? Because tuples are immutable. And in list we didn't get this error because lists are mutable. Remember this. Next difference is lists require two blocks of memory for storage and tuples require single block of memory for storage. Why it is so? Lists require two blocks because lists are mutable. So what Python does inside? Python reserve one block for original list and second block is reserved for memory in future, because lists are mutable. In future there can be objects are getting added or removed. So that second block is reserved for future purpose. That's why list require two blocks of memory, and as tuples are immutable, so it doesn't require any memory for future, so it requires only single block of memory. So we will see this. Now I'm defining here one list L4, and it is containing 1, 2, 3 elements, and we will print this list on the console L4, and we will run this much. Now this is one list. I want to check how much memory it is acquiring in the memory. For that I am going to use Python sys module. So I will import this module, import sys, and in this sys module we have size of function. Using that we can check memory how much it is acquiring. Sys dot size of L4. If I run this, sorry, get size of, it is get size of. Now it is giving me 80 bytes. So it is get size of, so it is giving 80 bytes, right? Now we will do same thing for tuples. Now I will define here one tuple T4 with the same elements as list 1, 2, 3, and I will print this tuple on the console, and we will check. Already we have imported that module, so no need to import it again. Sys dot get size of T4, and if I run this, so this is one tuple 1, 2, 3, and it is acquiring only 64 bytes. Why it is acquiring more memory list? Because it requires two blocks of memory. That's why it is showing 80 bytes, and tuples is stored in only single block of memory. That's why it is showing us 64 bytes, right? With the same point we have covered this fifth point also. Lists require more memory and tuples require less memory than lists. So this point is also covered in fourth point. Sixth point is lists are slow in processing and tuples are faster than lists in processing. To check this point, we will use Python's timeIt module. TimeIt. First we will import this timeIt module. This timeIt module is used to calculate execution time of any code snippet. From this timeIt module, I am going to use timeIt function, and to this timeIt function you have to pass your expression as a string. So I am passing here list expression for x in range 10, and I will get here execution time of this in one variable list time, and we will print this list time, and same code we will write for tuple also. Tuple time, and here tuple, and we will print this tuple time here. And if I run this first cell here, for list I got here 1.80 seconds, and for tuple I got here 1.49. So here our list and tuples are very small, because of that you got here very small time difference, but we could understand that tuples are faster than list. Seventh difference is you can't use list as dictionary keys, and tuples you can use as dictionary keys. We will see this. Now I am creating here one dictionary. To this dictionary, for example, here I am creating one dictionary, and the values are like values like I'm getting 34, right? And I'm printing this D on the console here. If I run this cell, I got here this dictionary. Whenever you are creating dictionary, always remember keys should be of immutable data type. As lists are mutable, you can't use list as key. So if I use here any list, and if I run this, I got here unhashable type list. Why we got this error? Because lists are mutable. So instead of list, if I have used here tuple, what happens we will check. As tuples are immutable, so tuples are allowed as dictionary keys. Next is 8th is you can't use list inside set object, and you can use tuples inside set object. The same reason, as lists are mutable, you can't use list in set, and as tuples are immutable, you can use tuples inside set. We will see this. Now this is one set I'm creating, and inside this set I'm giving here one list, and 5 6, and if I print this set on the console, now it is giving me unhashable type list, right? And instead of list, if I use here tuple, what happens we will check. Now tuples are allowed. So remember this point, 8th point. Ninth difference is lists are not secure and tuples are secure. This is very important point. Why lists are not secure? Lists are not secure because these are mutable data type, and tuples are immutable data type. See, for example, you want some data which should not change throughout life of that program, then you should go for tuples, because tuples are immutable. If you define it as list, there are chances list may get changed in future, right? So that's why whenever you want security, you should go for tuples. Thanks for watching the video, and if you like the content of my channel, please subscribe and press bell icon to get notification. And if you have any doubt, you can comment below.